Good afternoon, friends. This particular video is on generation of E-Invoice. Every registered person whose aggregate turnover crosses 100 crore in a financial year, they have to compulsorily make E-Invoice effective from 1st of April 2020. Now this aggregate turnover means it includes taxable turnover, exempted turnover, export turnover, crosses 100 crore in a financial year, and compulsorily to generate E-Invoice effective from 1st April 2020. This is optional from 1st January 2020. 3 months time period given to such registered person to be ready for generation of E-Invoice compulsorily from 1st April 2020. Having said that, now what is important, that the myth going on in the market that this generation of invoice to be done on GST common portal. Let me tell you, my viewers, that no generation of E-Invoice is required on GST common portal. What is going to change? Listen carefully. You can generate or make invoice from your existing ERP or accounting and billing software. You need not require to generate E-Invoice from GST common portal. Meaning thereby you can make and generate your invoice from your existing ERP and accounting and billing software. So what is the change which we are talking about? The change is that this E-Invoice which is being generated or made from your own ERP or accounting and billing software will be converted into standardized format. There should be standardized particulars and a schema for E-Invoice and template is already being issued. So what happened? We have to incorporate all such changes as per E-Invoice schema, which is standardized particulars and format in your own ERP or accounting and billing software. And once invoice is generated or made from your system, then this invoice need to be converted into JSON file. Once this JSON file is being created, it would be transmitted to the dedicated invoice reference portal, and this invoice reference portal is created by the government. 10 dedicated invoice reference portal is being made to cater voluminous transaction. This site is www.einvoice1.gst.gov.in. Similar like one, there are 10 website dedicated invoice reference portal is being created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now what happened? This invoice which is being generated or made from your own accounting and billing software or ERP system, converted into JSON file, is being transmitted to these dedicated invoice reference portal. This is a government dedicated invoice reference portal. It will validate the data which being standardized as per E-Invoice schema or template, and once it is validated, it will digitally sign such invoice and generate the invoice reference number IRN, and these numbers are being dedicated to the particular invoices. And once this is validated, digitally signed, invoice reference number is being allocated by such invoice reference portal, then it is returned back to such supplier who has transmitted this JSON file of invoice. And once invoice reference number is being generated, then these would be called authenticated tax invoice. So what happened after this invoice, which is validated, digitally signed with invoice reference number, is being returned to the supplier and recipient both together, and this is going to help. Once IRN, invoice reference number, generated, then it will allow auto generation of eBay bill from your eBay bill portal, and this will also help for filling up your Annex 1, the new return system which is being envisaged from 1st April 2020. So what happened with this invoice? You are able to generate your eBay bill. Simultaneously, your data get filled up in your Annex 1, which is the outward supply. And once it is coming in Annex 1 of supplier, it is reflected simultaneously in Annex 2 of recipient of goods or services for availing credit. So effective from 1st April 2020, the concept is getting changed, and getting changed for such registered person whose aggregate turnover is more than 100 crore in a financial year. So the myth was that invoice need to be generated from government GST common portal. This is not the case. Invoice to be generated and made from your own ERP system or accounting and billing software. And once this invoice is being made, should be converted into JSON file and then sent back or transmitted to invoice reference portal. This is a dedicated government invoice reference portal which will validate your invoice, get it digitally signed, and create invoice reference number to specific invoices being sent to invoice reference portal. This is what the change is going to happen from 1st April 2020. But at the moment, from 1st January 2020, this is made optional for such registered person, and this is for B2B transaction. At the same time, another provision which is going to be effected and going to be implemented from 1st April 2020 is every registered person whose aggregate turnover is more than 500 crore in a financial year, they have to compulsorily create QR code, quick response code, like barcode, for all B2C invoices, from registered person to unregistered person, effective from 1st April 2020. And these changes are being made with the number 5 notifications are being issued in this regard. Notification number 68/2019, that's central taxes dated 13 December 2019. So 68, 69, 70, 71, 72. 5 specific notifications are being issued, all dated 13 December 2019, is talking about the changes which I have referred just a while ago. So these are the changes effective from 1st April 2020. Let's prepare. Now I say that invoice which is being generated by your own portal, ERP or accounting and billing software, a particular standardized format, particulars are being given, and these are available on government website. You can check such e-invoice schema template and frequently asked question on this dedicated website www.gstn.org/e-invoice. So you will get e-invoice schema for standardizing the particulars on invoices. We'll get the template and related frequently asked question. Hope we have given a better idea what is the e-invoice which we are referring to. We are saying generation. It's not the generation. It's only reporting of such invoices on government dedicated portal. 10 dedicated government invoice portal are being made to cater voluminous transaction. Having said that, there are certain issues which I'm going to highlight in this particular video. We all are talking about automation, but we know the bandwidth and internet. We are also having 2-tier, 3-tier, 4-tier cities and remote areas. We have to consider that what happened when invoice need to be generated, and we are talking about the process. Is it going to be real-time process? Yes, that is what it is being stated, that you can send such invoices in JSON file from your software, from your ERP to the invoice reference portal as stated on real-time basis. An invoice reference portal will do all validation, get it digitally signed and create invoice reference number in real-time basis. And once it is being done, it is made available to both supplier and recipient. And your data get autofill in ANX1 for supplier, ANX2 for your recipient, and you can generate your eBay bill. But we have to check the bandwidth and internet capacity. This need to be tested. Let's see what happen in the future. Second issue, we require complete handholding, webinar, proper education and training, and maybe in different language as per India, because we got different territory in different language, and we have to create maybe 3 to 4 minute proper PowerPoint presentation for educating such registered person, because down the line government would be looking for that this generation of e-invoice, which is reporting of e-invoice on dedicated invoice reference portal, will be applicable to all taxpayer in GST. To start with, it is only for registered person having aggregate turnover more than 100 crore rupees. I hope you will get fair idea for this e-invoice, which is applicable from 1st April 2020. In another video pertaining to e-invoice, we are going to touch base important frequently asked question pertaining to generation of e-invoice. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.